Now, I'm joined today by Mike Brnovich, former Attorney General, of course, in Arizona, and also a friend of President Trump. Mark, welcome to the programme. You know, let's start. And you and I have discussed this before on GBNews, the British version. It is quite difficult from this side of the pond to look at the American legal system and how it works without kind of shaking my head. And I'll put this to you. 20 years ago, the real differences between Clinton's Democrats and, say, either of the Bush's Republicans were quite marginal. So whoever got voted into a judicial position, you know, they would have different nuances on issues. But now American politics has become so tribal, so divided, that I begin to ask myself, is it right for courts up to the supreme level to effectively have political appointees, or for people to get voted at local areas on the basis of their party colour?
Well, thank you for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. And I have not a chance to talk to you in person, but congratulations on your recent foray into the Australian...
the jungle. Yes, exactly. Yes. I come back unscathed.
You're still a celebrity, so you'll always be number one in our hearts. But on a more serious note, look, I mean, I was not only the elected Attorney General in Arizona, I'm a former federal prosecutor. I was a state gang prosecutor. I know a lot, obviously, about the American justice system. And what is happening is heartbreaking to me, because I think what's happening is we're seeing an assault on our institutions. And I think the far left, what they've done is they've adopted a strategy that the ends justifies the means. Yeah. And so essentially they look at Donald Trump as the devil, and they're going to do everything they can to essentially disenfranchise half of America in order to prevent him from even running. And I couldn't help but think on my way over here of, you know, the man for all seasons, you know, Thomas More, who gets in this debate with Roper, and, you know, Roper basically says, well, you know, what would you be willing to, you know, do in order to get the devil? And Roper talks about the fact that he's willing to cut down all the laws in order to get the devil. And Sir Thomas More reminds him that once you get rid of all the laws, there is nothing going to be there to hold you when the wind blows. And essentially, the devil will still be there. And so I think that there's actually a very good lesson from British history about how the ends cannot justify the means. And quite frankly,
I like that.
That's an old Marxist trope.